only to leave without them. And the same doctor's name kept coming up again and again. A pediatrician.
I ask you, what kind of doctor does this?
That's what I wanted to know too. From Serial Productions and the New York Times, I'm Diane Neary, and this is The Preventionist, a story about a doctor and the rise of a powerful field of pediatric medicine.
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and listen now.
Listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio. Jackson Feltz alongside the former United States men's national teamer Brad Evans and the All-American and national champ Danny Jackson. Germany, Curacao, we're just a few minutes away from kickoff for Germany. This is their 21st appearance in the World Cup. They only missed the World Cup in 1930 when they didn't enter and 1950 when they were banned. Otherwise, they've been utterly dominant, except for just recently. Since 2014, and since they won it, it's been kind of a disaster. Germany did not make it out of the group stage in 2018, and then in 2022, they also did not make it out of the group stage. They were in the group of death with Spain, Japan, and Costa Rica, but it has been disappointing so far for the Germans. For Curacao, as we've talked about, this is their first ever World Cup. They have been undefeated through 10 matches in CONCACAF qualifiers. They topped their group. They scored the automatic World Cup spot by finishing first in Group B there of their qualifiers, and they are in now for the very first time. Today's players to watch are brought to you by Fox One. The excitement of FIFA World Cup is now streaming on Fox One, the official English streaming platform to catch every unforgettable moment. Fox One brings the action straight to your screen so you never miss a goal. Download Fox One and experience the FIFA World Cup live. Brad, who are your players to watch for today?
For Curacao, it's Tahith Chong. I mean, this is an academy kid at Manchester United and then makes a few appearances for the first team. But for me, it's not all about first team appearances. It's about being in that environment with top quality players week in, week out for the majority of your career. Yes, he's bounced around in the championship now, but he's going to be the player that has played against the caliber of player that he's going to play against today in Germany. All of those players are top players. Danny's you could run down the whole list. It's tough to pick your player to watch there. But I think for him, Chong is going to have to lead that midfield because he's going to have to be the linchpin for the ball to get from defenders to midfield to forward if they're going to have any chance of putting Germany under any sustained pressure.
Yeah, I think for me, that attacking three for Germany is going to be one of the best attacking three in the tournament. Sané will play naturally outside on that right-hand side and come in. But the question is, how does Musiala and Wirtz play together so well? Wirtz, $150 million transfer to Liverpool a year ago. Struggled to find his best form, eventually got there towards the back end of the season. Musiala broke his leg in the Club World Cup a year ago, coming back to full fitness now. How do they work together and how do they unlock, which could be a very disciplined back line for Curacao?
I think, to your point, the front three are going to be incredible, and that's going to lead to the whole back line for Curacao having to play as one unit. Obispo obviously has the experience at PSV for 150 games. Now, the rest of that lineup, you kind of look at the games that they've played, where they've played, and it's a bit of an unknown. But look, I've played in World Cup qualifiers against the same exact lineup that you're looking at right now, and the coach for Germany and all the players are saying, do not underestimate this team. Yes, if you are on German soil, automatic, we're going to win this game 5-6-0. But listen, you're playing away from home, and it's going to be a difficult task for Germany to unlock this team to start this match.
Well, this is true. David versus Goliath. 10th overall in the FIFA rankings, 82nd overall in the FIFA rankings. It's Germany for the 21st time in the World Cup. It's Curacao for the first time. Let's get to kickoff. Germany, Curacao is coming up next. You've been listening, and you are listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio.
Been listening to our pre-match coverage of the FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio. Fox's play-by-play coverage of today's match is coming up next.
I'm John Walzak, host of the new podcast, Missing in Arizona.
And I'm Robert Fisher, one of the most wanted men in the world.
We cloned his voice using AI. In 2001,
police say I killed my family.
3 dead bodies, 2 were children.
He slit the throat of all of them.
First mom, then the kids.
And rigged my house to explode.
In a quiet suburb.
This is the Beverly Hills of the valley.
Our house just exploded and ignited on fire.
Before escaping into the wilderness.
Leading police on a massive manhunt in rugged terrain.
There was sleet and hail and snow coming down.
It was the biggest manhunt in Arizona history.
They found my wife's SUV.
Within 50 feet was a cave.
You could be buried under rockfall and cut a skeleton leaning up against the wall.
And my dog Blue.
All I could think of is seeing the sniper me out of some tree.
But not me.
Police believe he is alive and hiding somewhere.
Can you disappear and change your name and work for cash? Yeah, you can.
Fisher is still very much a priority with the FBI. He's on the 10 most wanted list.
Listen to Missing in Arizona.
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and listen now.
Across the nation today, summer heat remains the big weather story. Much of the mid-Atlantic and Northeast will stay warm and humid, with afternoon temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and 90s. A cold front moving through the region could trigger scattered thunderstorms from the Ohio Valley into the mid-Atlantic and parts of New England, with some storms capable of producing gusty winds and heavy downpours. Across the Midwest and Central Plains, expect a mix of sunshine and scattered thunderstorms, especially later in the day. Some storms may become strong with damaging winds and hail. And the South remains hot and humid with scattered afternoon storms from the Gulf Coast into Florida. Out of the West, it's mostly dry with plenty of sunshine. Temperatures will be seasonal along the Pacific coast, while the desert Southwest stays hot with highs well into the hundreds. That's your national weather forecast. I'm Jim Forbes.
iHeartRadio's World Cup coverage continues as we join Fox's live play-by-play action of today's FIFA World Cup 2026 match. Follow all the exclusive World Cup action on iHeartRadio.
After coming out of international retirement, the exciting left-back Nathaniel Brown's interesting. He has an American father, but chose to play for Germany. Jamal Musiala fully recovered from the horrendous broken leg he suffered in the US last summer, and Arsenal's Kai Havertz gets the nod up front. That's how they'll line up. As for Curacao, well, the selection is bold. They picked the Middlesbrough winger, Sonjay Hansen. He comes in at the expense of a defender, Julian Gally. Both Bakuna brothers, Leandro and Juninho, played in the English Premier League, and Tahith Chong was once the Young Player of the Year at Manchester United. Most of the players play in the Dutch first or second divisions, but have chosen to play for Curacao. Quite a scene, isn't it? Is this the World Cup where Germany bounce back? 4 times champions, once feared, these days maybe even a little disrespected, Landon. When you looked at all the predictions for this World Cup, nobody was tipping Germany.
Nobody's talked about Germany, and you're right. We saw them play the U.S. a week or so ago in Chicago, and they looked pretty good, to be honest. This will be a relatively easy test today, should be, but we'll see if they have what it makes to become champions again.
Shot there of the Curacao coach, Dick Advocat, who becomes the oldest coach of all time at the World Cup. He's more than twice the age of his opposite number today, Julian Nagelsmann, the 38-year-old boss of Germany. Curacao in blue and yellow. A lot of their fans behind the goal they're defending were in floods of tears as their national anthem was played. And you almost felt like shedding one yourself. Brilliant to see. Landon, you and I walked past the players as they got off the coach. They looked very, very nervous, understandably. But Advocat's a wily old fox. Let's see how he set them up here to do what is a mountainous task.
You see right away, Ian, Germany pressing high up the field, especially with this roof closed. Heat is not an issue today. I expect the Germans to press all day, try to pin Curacao in and create chance after chance.
Foul on Tahith Chong, who scored a superb solo goal in one of the prep games away to Scotland. Curacao shocked everybody by taking the lead. They lost 4-1 in the end, but it was a respectable performance. Here's Pazoa under a little bit of pressure from Kai Havertz. Germany, by the way, are on a run of 9 successive wins. That is their longest winning streak for 46 years. Schlotterbeck wins the header for the Germans. We've got a little bit of a job to do, I'm told by my spies who follow German football all the time, in just convincing the German public that they are actually a force. Let's see how good they are at this World Cup, having been knocked out in the group stage unthinkably in the last 2 competitions. Leroy Sané. Then Brown, who goes for the return here. Here's Nathaniel Brown. Chance for the very first goal of the day. And Brown showing there why he's such an exciting prospect. Bayern Munich trying reportedly to sign him this summer. And he could have played for the United States because his father's American.
And this is important for Curacao to do throughout the day. Fonville gets out of pressure. Drawing a foul or being able to break the press of Germany and then calm down a little bit will help them. Every minute they can take off the clock is an advantage for them.
Floramus as well coming in, Sayer down the line for Locadia, who's the lone striker. Hansen's waiting in the middle. He wanted an early cross. Locadia held it up well. Chong looking to force his way through. Landon, you and I were saying on the way in, Curacao, they're not a team of bakers and candlestick makers. They're professional footballers playing at a pretty decent level. 6 of this team playing in top flights somewhere.
No, you're right, Ian. Look, we played in CONCACAF. I played in CONCACAF for a long time. Sometimes you play countries where majority of their players play in their domestic league in a Caribbean island. And sometimes it's semi-professional. It's not fully professional. This is not, Curacao is not that. They beat some good teams in qualifying to get here, and they're professionals. They play in decent clubs, so this is not a cakewalk by any means for Germany.
Is Florian Wirtz, who had a mixed first season with Liverpool after his big money move. Musiala looking to find a way through, and they're set up quite boldly, Curacao really. Ball well won back by Hansen. And there is Juninho Bacuna. One of those 2 brothers, the younger one of the 2, who did play in the English Premier League when Huddersfield were in that league for a season or 2. Quite atmospheric with the roof on, isn't it, here? And just as well, because it is quite brutally hot outside.
Obviously a big German contingent, but there is a massive Curacao contingent also behind the goal that Eli Room is in right now, and they were pretty loud and boisterous pregame. They're excited to be here.
Is Necha, who's been given the vote in the centre of midfield ahead of Leon Goretzka today. Brown, what's a lovely ball through, and there's an opportunity here maybe for Germany to get the first goal, and what a very good block to deny Musiala. Now Brown looking to work something on this left-hand side. Wirtz, oh, and it's a sensational goal, brilliantly struck home by Necha. Gorgeous, gorgeous goal by Germany. Justifies his selection, Landon.
Yeah, and this starts with Floranis getting beat down that right side from Curacao. The play continues on. Imecha, a little 1-2 with Florian Wirtz, and a pretty simple finish inside of the foot. Eloy Room can't see it. 1-0 to Germany.
Just his second goal for his national side. And look at Julian Nagelsmann. The early goal that they hoped would come, and it arrives inside 6 minutes. Nothing Eloy Room could do about it. Ball rather given away there, and that's something they can't afford to do. Who's Musiala? One of the great dribblers in European football, Musiala. Once again, Nathaniel Brown much involved down that left-hand side early on. He gets the vote these days ahead of David Raum. And Dick Advocat, who took the Netherlands to the quarter-finals when the United States last hosted the World Cup in 1994. He also handled South Korea 2006, and back by the popular demand of the Curacao players. He did step down in March because of concerns over his daughter's health. Happily, she is on the mend, and he is back in the dugout. That's Kimmich doing the clearing up.
Well, it's a nightmare start for him, and it's interesting, Ian, before the game we said we assumed they would be in a back three. Their last match against Scotland, their last lead-up match, they played a back three with Gary, and they took Gary out and brought in Hansen, who's very much an attacking player. And you and I said, wow, that's a bold decision. They're in a back four. They don't look comfortable defensively yet. And I just wonder what the thought process was behind that.
Musiala. And Mecha again. Fancies it, doesn't he now? He really does.
Well, when you score that early in the match, you start to feel like you can do nothing wrong, and not necessarily a guy that you associate with scoring a ton of goals, but he's able to stay high up the field right now because they've got Curacao pinned in. And I expect he might get another few chances as the match goes on.
Coming up on Fox, it's more World Cup action with the Netherlands taking on Japan, who could be dangerous outsiders. That match is following our game here on Fox. One to look forward to. Japan in recent times have beaten both Brazil and England. Here's Hansen. Recently featured in the Championship playoff final at Wembley. His Middlesbrough side were beaten by Hull City, so they stay in the Championship as Hull move into the Premier League. Tar to play it forward to Musiala. It's really good to see Musiala fit again. It was a really bad leg break he got last summer at the Club World Cup. Wirtz. Very much the orchestrator for his country, full of clever little passes like that one. Sees angles other players don't see, tiptoeing through, trying his luck as well. And goes Zane. I think Germany will try to be pretty ruthless here, Landon.
There are two things they worked on leading up to this game. One is breaking down a team that is sitting deep in their end, and the other is putting out fires, counterattacks from Curacao. And you'll see their center backs very high up the field to put away.
Zane here.
To put away any hope of a Curacao counterattack, and you're going to see more and more of this. Combinations, picking apart this back four, and trying to find the second now. Sane just keeps himself onside, cuts inside, probably a corner kick there. Yeah, you can see it's a fleck, not once but twice. Not sure how a referee missed that.
Germany ahead in the 6th minute, the fastest goal they've scored at the World Cup since Thomas Müller, sadly no longer involved, scored after 3 minutes against Argentina in the 2010 quarter-final. And Neuer was playing back then as well. This is his 5th World Cup. Nothing to do yet.
Just saw Thomas Müller walking through the hallway too. He could have played today.
And we met Bastian Schweinsteiger at pitchside, didn't we? Wonderful player.
He could have played as well, probably.
Charming bloke, isn't he? Schlotterbeck tries to find it, and Metcher again, who got another effort away. He really has been very, very prominent in the early action.
It's just a dream for him, Ian, because he doesn't have to worry about what's behind him. Usually in that position, you have to worry about attacking players behind you. You have to be a little more conservative. He has the full freedom now with Ton Schlotterbeck behind him to just go attack and not worry about anything else. Pavlovic will sit in there and deal with counterattacks. He can just make his way into the box late, arrive late. He's been an absolute menace so far.
Friendly handshake from the striker Locadia, who once cost Brighton £15 million. He was regarded when he was a youngster as a bit of a wonder boy. Hasn't quite worked out for him in club football, but he's out here today playing in the World Cup. Here's Nathaniel Brown again. At the moment with Eintracht Frankfurt, but he's on the scouting books of a lot of clubs. And as I said, Bayern may be preparing a €50 million offer for him. Might take a bit more. Jonathan Tah. Zane to Kimmich. Kimmich very much the leader of the pack. Right back for his country, central midfield for Bayern Munich. He can do both pretty well, just like Philipp Lahm before him. Going back. Wirtz again here, cutting inside. Fizzing one, a foot or two wide.
The next opportunity for Germany. Floranus can't allow him to come inside on his right foot. This is too easy. Again, Eloy Room a bit late to see it, but happy to see it go just wide of the post.
Wirtz, one of the stars of that amazing season in Germany when Bayer Leverkusen won the title without losing a game. There's Juninho Bacuna looking to cut inside. I mean, Dick Advocat would have known and prepared Curacao for the fact that they would see very little of the ball here.
It's why I'm surprised that he took out Gary and brought in Hansen, Ian. It's not a game you can expect to really have any of the ball. You need to be able to defend.
Well, it feels a bit like his attempt to maybe just surprise Nagelsmann with something. They've got to get out, haven't they? And the main job is to try and contain Germany, which is nigh impossible, I would say. Here's Metcher again. He can get the cut back right. And Leandro Bacuna, once a cup finalist with Aston Villa in England, and that's well cut up by Nico Schlotterbeck, who is a very fine defender.
Really well read there.
Curacao to be blunt about it, are reaching out for what would be, I think, pretty much without argument, the biggest upset in the history of the World Cup. And the history of the World Cup now goes back 96 years. Can't think of a bigger one. For a long time, it was USA beating England in 1950.
Oh, stop it.
That was when the USA weren't the powerhouse they are today. Look at that display the other night. Wow.
It's fun to watch, fun to be there.
Here's Schlotterbeck again. Kimmich. Zane battling away for the ball there. He probably wouldn't be in the team if the exciting youngster Lennart Karl hadn't been injured on the eve of the competition. Really tough on him. So Zane would have been on the squad, but probably on the bench. But now he's back in the starting lineup. Later tonight on Fox Sports 1, double-header action with the Ivory Coast against Ecuador in this group, followed by Sweden facing Tunisia. Coverage starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. That is 3 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific time. And it's on Fox Sports 1. This is Obispo, who plays for the Dutch champions PSV Eindhoven. Fonville to play it inside. Now Juninho Bacuna up to Tahith Chong. Chong is the only player in the squad who was actually born in Curacao and lived there till he was 9. Good player. These days with Sheffield United in the English Championship, second tier, that is. Nice work from Juninho Bacuna. Now Bazoa. Coman Ensea with a misplaced ball, for which he says immediately apologies.
In a game like this, Ian, those are killers for Curacao. You have a chance to just take the steam out of the game a bit, stop defending. You cannot give away unforced errors like that.
Tar with a mistake. Gave it to Leandro Bacuna. There's an opportunity here. Coman Ensea. Can he get his cross away? They've got plenty of players in there. Chong got a head to it. Locadia. And then Juninho Bacuna. Listen to the cries of the crowd. There is a shot at last from Curacao. Bazoa, the defender.
Well, there will not be many chances like this for Curacao to break out. And they ended up just doing a really poor job on that right side. Kept going away from goal. Just begging him to go to goal and put pressure under Manuel Neuer in the German defense. And you really have to take advantage of that if you're Curacao. Like I said, they will be few and far between.
Cut inside again, and that's just too long for Kai Havertz, who recently scored in the friendly against the United States. A 2-1 win for Germany, but it was a mighty encouraging display that day from the USA, and they built on that in very impressive fashion the other night. There's Manuel Neuer. Over 700 days since he last played for his national team. He said his retirement was set in stone, and Oliver Baumann was going to be the goalkeeper at this World Cup. Then it all changed a few weeks ago. And that has left a bit of a sour taste in some quarters.
Certainly for Baumann,
who's been very diplomatic about it and says, I'll just get on with the job.
I guess he has no choice. Right?
Can't say much more. Not publicly, anyway. Coman Ensea here. Trying to find Hansen, Locadia. And there's a goal for Curacao. Can you believe this? Coman Germany. That is a sensation. What do you know about this game? The first thing Manuel Neuer has to do in the match is pick the ball out of the back of his net. The smallest nation ever to qualify have scored against the 4 times world champions.
And Comenencia starts the play, rolls it wide, comes into Locadia, bounces fortuitously back to him. Toss stretching to try to block it, unfortunately deflects it past Manuel Neuer. Absolutely incredible, and the 6,000 Curacao fans are going absolutely crazy. 1-1.
My goodness me. This stadium is stunned. The football world is stunned. And now here's Locadia. Going for goal again. It's Tar with the challenge. It's not going to be a penalty kick. But Curacao here are being bold and brave. And they have absolutely stunned the Germans.
Here's a look at it. Yeah, Tar pulls out. It's not a penalty. But wow, as we go into this hydration break, boy, have things changed quickly here.
And this break is sponsored by Lenovo.
Elon.
iHeart.
Did you know not all batteries are the same? For example, only Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And Duracell are the only batteries that make this sound every time you say Power Boost ingredients. See? Duracell batteries with Power Boost ingredients. You try. Duracell batteries with Power Boost ingredients. Told you. Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And they're built right here in the USA with US and global parts.
FIFA World Cup takes the global stage from June 11th through July 19th on Fox One, the official English streaming platform of FIFA World Cup 2026. Stream all 104 matches live and get closer to the action with a personalized viewing experience built around you. Choose up to 4 streams with multi-view, catch highlights before jumping into the action, get live stats in real time, and replay key plays instantly. Experience the FIFA World Cup live on Fox One. Watch 3 days free. For details, visit Fox.com. Offers are subject to change. See Fox One for complete terms and conditions.
Upgrade your FIFA World Cup 2026 viewing experience. Build it like Beckham from the living room to the lawn with the Home Depot. Create a box seating experience with flowers for pops of color surrounding your pitch, the smell of grilled favorites, and a freshly painted fence sporting your team's colors. Fast free delivery is your home field advantage with charcoal, string lights, or whatever the game calls for right to your door. A clean assist. Build it like Beckham for match day. The Home Depot, official FIFA World Cup 2026 supporter. Subject to availability.
Did you know not all batteries are the same? For example, only Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And Duracell are the only batteries that make this sound every time you say Power Boost ingredients. See? Duracell batteries with Power Boost ingredients. You try. Duracell batteries with Power Boost ingredients. Told you. Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And they're built right here in the USA with US and global parts.
What a story developing in Houston. Livano Comenencia, who plays for Zurich in Switzerland, scores only his 3rd goal for his country at the World Cup against the 4-time world champions, Germany. 66-1 outsiders. Curacao are level. Landon, this is amazing.
It's a party in the Curacao section right now. And you can feel the stress, not only in the players, but in the stadium from the German fans, all seated firmly in their seats, wondering what is going on here.
particularly with the questions always surrounding the German team in recent times. They lost their opening game at the last 2 World Cups. The unthinkable has happened. Here's Sané. I mean, some of the German players just looked embarrassed after that goal went in, particularly Neuer himself, really thoughtful of that water break. Here's Musiala looking to set the record straight again. Germany. But there's real tigerishness and now extra belief about Curaçao, who are showing just why they did manage to qualify unbeaten in the final group when they did beat the team fancied to top that group, Jamaica. 2-0, one game, drew 0-0 in the second to make sure that they were at the World Cup. And my goodness me, how they're gracing the stage. Kimmich with the free kick for Germany. Oh, and the header is brilliantly turned away from Eli Room.
This is a really clever set piece. They picked a few guys to get Schlotterbeck free at the back post. Unfortunately, it's right at Room. A good tip over the bar, but absolutely a save he should make.
Really good work from the Miami FC goalkeeper, Eloy Room. He's winning his 73rd cap here, by the way. Seeing this from the referees, there's not so much of the skirmishing. They want separation. Largely, they're kind of getting it. Difficult to deal with. Room saw it late, that's why he went for the punch. It worked. Brown to lay it back. All the way through for Musiala. Musiala again here, though. Very good challenge to deny him.
It was an all-or-nothing challenge from Obispo here. He misses him, Musiala's by him, or he fouls him. Fortunately for him, he got the ball.
This one's got to be one. It is, and Schlotterbeck's back on that back post again. And one or two signs that they're struggling with those crosses.
Yeah, they keep picking to get him free at the back post. That was actually a big chance. A couple German players wide open in front of the goal. Just overshot him a little bit.
Well, what were the odds, Landon, today that Curaçao would even score in this game? Pretty long, I'd say.
Extremely. It's incredible.
Wirtz now. And then Kimmich. The organisation by Curaçao back there is very good, though. Working hard off the ball, trying to deny Wirtz, but he was too clever. Sané to lay it square, and it's Pavlovic's effort. Great block. Superb work, and it was Common and Sayer, the goal scorer, who was in the way of that shot. There is always, but always, a tale of the unexpected at the World Cup. Saw a minor one last night with Australia. Beating Turkey 8.
They were fantastic. Friday's match with the U.S. is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it looks a tasty one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Here comes the corner for the Germans, who are looking to resume normal service here. Again, some brave defending from the team from the Tile Island nation in the south of the Caribbean. Chong on the chase. Just bit by bit, they're causing Germany, one or two issues back there.
They really are. And Chong there on that first pass, if he had opened up and looked to his right, he had a player running with him.
Zane, good penetrative run from him, but blocked again by Komanense. He's everywhere at the moment. You can see the idea then from Juninho Bacuna. And Mecha. I think most observers thought this was just a question of how many. Schlotterbeck again. Musiala found a pocket of space. He's good at that. Lovely little flick from Hansen. Find Chong, but he's given it away in a pretty bad area too. They might be able to come up with something here. Zane! Some fantastic defending once again from Curaçao, and this time it was Deveron Fonville. This is an extraordinary effort from Curaçao.
It's all hands on deck, and Fonville's the one who gets beat, but ends up recovering so well. A couple blocks right in front of their goal now. And if they want any chance of getting a result here, that's got to continue.
There's a sea of blue shirts behind the goal where they're defending. We've got about 6,000 fans here. And they're living every single second and defending with their team almost, it seems, that goal. At the moment, the blue wave is washing over the Germans. Wirtz looking to work something again here out to Leroy Sané. Referee rather in the way of Kimmich there, and that goes behind for the goal kick. The referee just says a little sorry to Kimmich. It's nothing much could have done about it really. Well, Dick Advocat, he's had a wonderful, long, 39-year career as a coach. Is he back for one last brilliant achievement? Don't forget, James Corden and the After Hours crew will be on Fox tonight for another nightly wrap of today's World Cup action on Fox at midnight local. And they might have quite a bit to talk about from this game, I'd say.
It's also a lot of games today and a lot of excitement. Groups getting going for the first time, so feels like the World Cup is properly underway now.
Yeah, the plot is thickening all the time, isn't it? We haven't seen quite a few of the nations yet. It's always interesting to get your first glimpse of what they can do.
Or in Germany's case right now, what they can't do.
Yeah. And so to laid wide to Floranus down that side is Locardi, who's done some really good work. Right back on form. He was without a club at the start of the season. He's with Miami now, Miami FC that is. Sonjay Hansen here. Juninho Bacuna gets past Emecha and gets a shot away. They are snarling defiance here, Curaçao.
They're just growing in confidence, Ian, minute by minute. Obviously, Germany are going to create chances and get chances, but they feel like they're blocking chances, getting in the way, and then when they go forward now, they're starting to look a threat.
Here's Tar again. Quite happy to let Germany have the ball here in the middle third of the pitch and defend their own third. Germany trying to work some angles and then change the tempo. Musiala. Now Nathaniel Brown. Wirtz let it go. Kimmich joins in. There's the challenge so far, but no further, say Curaçao. Kai Havertz behind for a corner. You made a good point, Landon, before the game when you talked about the roof being on helping Curaçao because they can keep up the energy levels a little bit better, can't they?
No question. When you're outside in the heat and you're chasing the ball, I'm guessing Germany's had 75% of the possession. Over 90 minutes, you really wear down. And they will wear down over 90 minutes chasing like this, but not to the extent they would have with the heat and humidity outside.
Brown is going to take the corner for Germany. And Curaçao, if they have looked a little rocky, it's sometimes been from crosses.
They have Schlotterbeck starting at the far post now. I wonder if they'll try to pick to get him across the near post this time.
Brown lays it in. Oh, and it's a beautiful header. You called it, Landon. Schlotterbeck got across, and Germany regained the lead.
Well, he's been the danger man on every set piece, Ian. The first few, he started at the near post and peeled to the back. This time he starts at the back post and just had a feeling he would run across the near. Still has a decent amount of work to do. Little glancing header, but he's not going to miss many of those. 2-1 to Germany. Delight for him. Despair for Curaçao.
It's a first ever goal for his country, for Nico Schlotterbeck. What a time to score it as well, to save Germany's blushes, truth be told.
Historically, Ian, Germany have been so good on set pieces. They spend so much time perfecting it, working on it. Just the craft of heading the ball. When I played in Germany, so much emphasis on it. We played Germany in 2002 in the quarterfinals, and we played a phenomenal game. One set piece, Michael Ballack scores on a header, and we end up going home. And it's just been a strength of theirs over and over and over throughout the years.
And despite their recent problems, their international record is just amazing. They've been in 14 major tournament finals. They've reached 13 World Cup semi-finals out of their 21 appearances in the competition. So the problems are only in recent editions. You must be a clairvoyant the way you called that before it actually happened.
Played a few games.
Yeah. I think Bastian Schweinsteiger must have whispered in your ear about those moves.
I wish you would have told me something. He wasn't giving anything away.
You might not have known. Not now. State secrets, aren't they? Lineups. Is Wirtz to lay it inside. Back to Ennacher, score of that first goal in the 6th minute. Quite a bit's happened since then. Wirtz lays it inside. They can't quite find Havertz, and that's nice footwork, isn't it, by Juninho Bacuna, but he's hustled out of possession. Wirtz has it again. Just think of it, in the second half, Curaçao will be attacking the fans with, you know, the goal with the fans behind in the blue shirts.
Imagine if they score there.
Oh, yeah. Coming up, we've got the Visa halftime show. Rebecca Lowe, Thiago Alcantara, Chicharito, Javier Hernandez and Alexi waiting to tell you their verdict. There's one or two things to talk about for them here. Is Pavlovic. Neat and tidy midfielder player. Brown to lay it once again to Viet. He'll have to drift in off that left hand side. Musiala here has found space, and Room does well. Fonville for Curacao. Doing pretty well. Hansen just chasing that. Wonder if it'd been under hit a little. Play on, says the referee. Looked like a foul on Chong, who's bemused by the referee's decision. I think I was too. He's Comenencia again. Whose name passes into World Cup folklore already. Juninho Bacuna. And Curacao have posed a threat. Viet's wide. Brown now.
They do have to be careful when they go forward like that, though, opening themselves up. You cannot give Germany a lot of space when they're countering.
Trying to work the angles again with these short, slick passes around the edge of the box. Working so hard without the ball here at Curacao. Might that tell on their legs later on? It might. The concentration levels needed to do the job they're doing back there, well, off the charts, really. Not to mention the art of defending that they're showing here. Another corner. Got to watch for Schlotterbeck again, haven't we? He's darting around towards the back post this time. He's won that one too. He's won just about every header from the last 3 or 4 corners and scored with one of them.
And it's through the same movements every time. He's finding a pick and getting free, and then his timing is so good in the air. It's just been menacing.
Which makes it surprising, doesn't it, that that was his first Germany goal, and this is 28th cap today. Borussia Dortmund defender Nico Schlotterbeck. Another corner. Room gets enough distance with the punch. Kimmich to pick it up again for the Germans, who want a third goal here to take into half-time. Musiala, mesmerising skill. He's got it all, hasn't he? With the ball at his feet, and another fantastic block. Sane lays it off. Another block, this time by Juninho Bacuna, who heads it away. That goal is leading a pretty charmed life at times.
She can't take it.
They're loving it, aren't they? Absolutely loving it, whatever the result is. They've seen their team score at the World Cup.
It's almost like a training exercise at times, Ian, where you're just playing in a very tight space trying to score goals, and somehow, some way, Curacao kept it out a number of times.
Here's Sane. Easily cut out. The clock ticking round, and we're playing the 4 minutes added on at the end of an eventful first half here. And that goal scored by Curacao would have sent reverberations right the way around Planet Football. Chong now. They've got a bit of pace, and here's Common and Sayer again. Chong wants it played into him. Hansen this time. Didn't really get hold of it. But there again is the evidence of Curaçao's ambition in this game. They're not just sitting back. And some of the defending's been heroic from Azoa and Obispo and Fonville and Floranus. Fitz again, plotter in chief. Brown to lay it back, and Mecha goes down. They want a penalty kick, and the referee points to the spot. No protest from Curaçao either. Not really.
Yeah, very light protest. It's hard to tell from where we are, but judging by the reaction.
Quick word from Mark Clattenburg. What do you think then, Mark?
Once the defender dives in, he catches him on the back foot, and therefore it was a simple penalty. The referee's in a very, very good position. It was that second movement of the leg. He goes to ground. If he kept his leg low, then might have got away with it. But once he lifts his leg up, there's a secondary touch on the opponent's leg, and therefore a simple decision for the referee to give.
Azoa's challenge.
Yeah, I agree with Mark, and I thought the chance had gone when Mecha took the touch and then the second touch, but can't go to ground like that. You make any contact, you give the referee no choice, and now Kai Havertz will step up to try to make it 3-1.
Right on half-time as well. Would have been great for Curaçao if they could have gone in with the margin only one. Kai Havertz, a scorer in the Champions League final for Arsenal from the spot. Curaçao fans behind the goal trying to put him off. But they don't. It's 3-1. Cool as you like, Kai Havertz. Great penalty, wasn't it?
Really calm from Kai Havertz. Starts his motion to the ball. Little stutter here. Lets Eli Room lean to his left. Kai Havertz rolls it to his left. Simple penalty. Simple goal. And 3-1 Germany heading into halftime.
The first time they've scored 3 in the first half of a World Cup game since that amazing semi-final against Brazil when they won 7-1. You might remember, and went on to win the World Cup. Half-time. What a half that was. Curaçao shocking everybody with a goal, but Germany have 3. Half-time analysis coming up from Houston. It's Germany 3, Curaçao 1.
Adopt you.
Did you know not all batteries are the same? For example, only Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And Duracell are the only batteries that make this sound every time you say Power Boost ingredients. See? Duracell batteries with Power Boost ingredients. You try. Duracell batteries with Power Boost ingredients. Told you. Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And they're built right here in the USA with US and global parts. Did you know not all batteries are the same? For example, only Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And Duracell are the only batteries that make this sound every time you say Power Boost ingredients. See? Duracell batteries with Power Boost ingredients. You try. Told you. Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And they're built right here in the USA with US and global parts.
Time now for halftime here at the FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio, presented by Fox One. And now a look at today's first half.
45 minutes in the books in Houston Stadium. Germany and Curacao were in a battle for a while, but in this battle of David versus Goliath, Goliath finally asserted dominance and they lead 3-1 here at the break. We welcome you into the halftime show. You're listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio. My name is Jackson Feltz. I'm alongside the former United States men's national teamer, Brad Evans, and the All-American and national champion at North Carolina, Danny Jackson. Curacao did get a goal to make it 1-1 in the 21st minute, but Brad, eventually Germany got those next two.
Yeah, look, and I think you have to give your applaud to Curacao for showing up and not just sitting back. We anticipated they might just sit back, but really they implemented their game onto Germany. Yes, Germany got off to a fast start with the goal, but I think for Curacao, they settled into the game and they started to keep a little bit possession. And when you're sitting back, it's all about completing the first and second pass, and then you can get into the rhythm. Germany got set in their defensive block, and then all of a sudden you see Curacao tie up the game at 1-1. We're going crazy here in the studio. It really, that's what you want, are the storylines in this one. And then Germany showed their class, obviously, and if it wasn't for that PK, I think that Curacao may have had a chance going into halftime to get a little bit of a regroup and come out, maybe make some changes, and try to implement their game a bit more in the second half.
Yeah, we talked about David versus Goliath. 84 million population for Germany, 156,000 for Curacao. They blocked, they tackled, they ran for each other. They were in it until the very end, last 10 minutes where Germany started to get a bit of a breather. We talked about hydration breaks during this World Cup, and it's a reset for teams halfway through the first half and then the second half. Who would have thought the four-time world champion Germany needed that hydration break to get reset? And they did. They came out, they got themselves together again. They were dangerous on set pieces. They're dominant with good delivery from Kimmich and from Sane. And, of course, at the end, it was the dagger at the end, as you said, Brad, that will send them into the locker room. A little bit disheartened, but they should feel very good about their performance so far.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just think you get CONCACAF sometimes. We talk about it a lot in U.S. soccer, and I think Germany got hit with that 20 minutes into this one. Curacao came out and didn't expect to see what they saw, and Curacao really laid it on them, and then they've given their best effort. And to Danny's point, they're gonna have to come out in this second half, and we're listening to Landon and Ian Dark as well saying this second half is going to be massive for Curacao.
Absolutely so. Well, our first half recap is brought to you by the Home Depot. Upgrade your FIFA World Cup 2026 setup. Build it like Beckham from living room to lawn with the Home Depot. And take the fast free delivery assist, the Home Depot official FIFA World Cup 2026 supporter, subject to availability. It was a fast start for Germany. Very fast. 6th minute, they get the opening goal. A shot very well that freezes the keeper. Great play there in the box. Then, for the next 20 minutes, Germany gets 10 shots, but they aren't able to put away Curacao. Curacao get their goal in the 21st minute, but 2 goals from Germany late in the 38th and 45th plus 3 that make this game 3-1. As we look at, let's just pause the moment in time. After that 21st minute, Brad, it really did feel like Curacao got a handle in this game, and David had hope against Goliath for quite a long time until those next 2.
Yeah, look, it wasn't just the goal that put Curacao in motion. They were really able to maintain possession of ball. And like we said, if you break the first line of Germany, no matter where you're from, no matter what team you are, and you have athletic players that are technically gifted like Curacao are, right? Most of them playing in the Dutch league, you know they're going to be technically sound, tactically sound. You're going to get opportunities, and they did. It wasn't for lack of effort. I just think that they've run out of steam late in that first half. They're going to feel a ton of pressure from Germany, but they had a ton of chances. If it wasn't just for Germany's class on today, looking at the group, I think they're going to get an opportunity against the other two teams.
Yeah, I think if you look at the stats, 71% possession for Germany as expected. 3 goals, of course, from 16 shots. But the thing that jumps out is touches in the opposition box, 36 in that first half for Germany. The U.S. against Paraguay had the most touches inside the 18-yard box since 1966 World Cup. So the U.S. had so much dominance. I think Germany's going to beat that record today.
Well, currently is a score of 3-1 Germany over Curacao. They get those late first half goals here at the break. Now, in terms of this keys to the second half, it is only 3-1. And what is the line? A 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in soccer. So we will get to some important keys to the second half. We'll take a look at what's ahead in the next 45 minutes. It's 3-1 Germany. We'll talk about it more. You're listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio.
iHeart.
Did you know not all batteries are the same? For example, only Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And Duracell are the only batteries that make this sound every time you say Power Boost ingredients. See? Duracell batteries with Power Boost ingredients. You try. Duracell batteries with Power Boost ingredients. Told you. Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And they're built right here in the USA with US and global parts. Did you know not all batteries are the same? For example, only Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And Duracell are the only batteries that make this sound every time you say Power Boost ingredients. See? Duracell batteries with Power Boost ingredients. You try. Duracell batteries with Power Boost ingredients. Told you. Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And they're built right here in the USA with US and global parts.
FIFA World Cup takes the global stage from June 11th through July 19th on Fox 1, the official English streaming platform of FIFA World Cup 2026. Stream all 104 matches live and get closer to the action with a personalized viewing experience built around you. Choose up to 4 streams with multi-view, catch highlights before jumping into the action, get live stats in real time, and replay key plays instantly. Experience the FIFA World Cup live on Fox 1. Watch 3 days free. For details, visit Fox.com. Offers are subject to change. See Fox 1 for complete terms and conditions.
Upgrade your FIFA World Cup 2026 viewing experience. Build it like Beckham from the living room to the lawn with the Home Depot. Create a box seating experience with flowers for pops of color surrounding your pitch, the smell of grilled favorites, and a freshly painted fence sporting your team's colors. Fast free delivery is your home field advantage with charcoal, string lights, or whatever the game calls for right to your door. A clean assist. Build it like Beckham for match day. The Home Depot, official FIFA World Cup 2026 supporter. Subject to availability.
You're listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio. Welcome back to the halftime show. Germany leading Curacao by a score of 3-1. Jackson Feltz alongside the former United States men's national teamer Brad Evans and the All-American and national champion at UNC, Danny Jackson. Germany with an early 6th-minute goal. Curacao fought back, and the David hit Goliath in the 21st minute to make it a 1-1 match. Then Germany get 2 goals in the 38th minute and 45 plus 3 to make this thing 3-1 at the break. Let's get into some keys. Our keys to the second half are brought to you by Fox One. The excitement of the FIFA World Cup is now streaming live on Fox One, the official English streaming platform to catch every unforgettable moment. Fox One brings the action straight to your screen so you never miss a goal. Download Fox One and experience the FIFA World Cup live. I think there's keys we can give for both teams right here. Let's start with the Germans, who are up 3-1. Brad, what do they need to do to grow and hang on to this lead?
Well, anytime you play against a team like Curacao, you know that they're sitting in a low block, so wide play is going to be vital. And we've already seen it. From wide play, you can get opportunities, but you also end up with corner kicks, and that's become vital. And especially in World Cups, sometimes set pieces can be the decider of if you win a championship and you don't. And you want to do it early and get familiar with how you want to run inside the box against different teams, and the service has to be there. And you should, and they showed it today, obviously, getting the header on the corner kick. And I think for them, it's going to be about their substitutes that they bring in this second half. You can bring on Undav, who's been incredible for them. He's a little bit different. He's not the prototypical German striker. He's big, he's strong, he's low to the ground. I think they need that against this Curacao team to unlock something different. And for them, it's just going to be about maintain possession, wait for the opportunities, and don't force the pass.
Yeah, I think for Germany, it's cutting out the noise of what could come after this game, right? It's going to put some more goals in the back of the net, create a bit more of a spread between the scoreline because the media will be coming after them. It was a gripping first half. As soon as Curacao got that 1-1 tie, I mean, the crowd exploded. I'm sure there was fans all over the world, in support of Curacao. Maybe not nationals of Curacao who were celebrating that goal as well. But for Curacao, they earned the respect, I think, of everybody in that first half. They came at it. It did show the golfing class in and around the 18-yard box. They had chances to break, didn't make the right decisions at times. But I think what's most important for both these countries is what they do in the second half will set themselves up for the rest of the group, because Ivory Coast and Ecuador are games where Curacao could get something out of those games based on the performance they put in this first half. For Germany, it's to create some more confidence in the offensive third of the field. They look like they could walk around Curacao at times, but they've got to make sure they take advantage of that possession in the final third. So can they set themselves up both for the coming two games?
Brad, it does seem to me where Curacao, the story here is you can look at the fans, the reactions right now, even when Germany get the second and the third, they're very happy. They scored on the 2014 champions. They scored on the 10th ranked team in all FIFA. There is a feeling like maybe we already accomplished something, but any keys to them to maybe get back in this game?
Well, you can't do desperate defending for 90 minutes. You're going to run yourself ragged. You're not going to advance out of a tournament just from desperate defending, but it's going to be about the midfield maintaining possession. And Locadia, he's a big, strong striker. They have to find a way to get him involved and just to bring players into the play. They're going to have to get a goal at some point. You don't want to leave this game with nothing. And then Castaneer, he'll come off the bench, hopefully. That was their leading goal scorer in qualifying. They have to, I think they can go for it.
Yeah, for Germany, it's sometimes stepping out the shadows of the legends of past, from the Beckenbauers, from the Klinsmanns who've won World Cups, of course, from obviously the Özils and Schweinsteigers of 2014. They have to find their own identity. Who do they want to be? And I think top to bottom, they are strong. They have to show it now in the second half.
It's Germany 3, Curacao 1. We will head back out to Houston Stadium for the second half. You are listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio.
Find your iHeartRadio everywhere. There are hundreds of ways to experience iHeartRadio at home and on the go, beyond the iPhone and Android app, and at iHeartRadio.com. Here's another way to connect to iHeartRadio. On the road again? Can't drive 55? Trying to catch me riding dirty? No car ride is complete without the perfect soundtrack. That's why iHeartRadio wants to complete your commuting and road tripping experience by integrating with the world's largest navigation app, Waze. Now, while you navigate turn by turn in Waze, you can also stay connected to your favorite stations, playlists, and podcasts from iHeartRadio. Just tap on the music icon from the Waze navigation screen and select iHeartRadio to listen to all your favorite content. iHeartRadio, everywhere you want to listen, including in the car through Waze on iPhone and Android. Check it out for free now. iHeartRadio, anywhere you want to listen. iHeartRadio is there.
iHeartRadio Did You Know? Presented by iHeartRadio. You know, what you're listening to right now. Did you know that iHeartRadio not only lets you listen to all your favorite AM/FM stations locally and nationwide for free, but iHeartRadio also gives you access to over 350,000 podcasts. Yeah, including all the most popular hosts and shows worldwide. Best of all, you can listen to all your podcasts for free. Tap on the podcast tab and explore podcasts from over 20 different topics. Sports to comedy, history to crime, music to politics, and much, much more. While you're listening, iHeartRadio will remember where you left off and pick back up when you return. You can adjust your listening speeds to slow down or speed up your podcast, follow your favorite titles to get updates when new episodes drop, and download podcast episodes right on your phone so you can listen anytime, even without an internet connection. All the podcasts you want and all the functionality to make listening great. And you don't need any other app. It's all on iHeartRadio. #1 for music, radio, and podcasting, all in one app.
iHeartRadio.
Fox's live play-by-play coverage of the second half of today's FIFA World Cup 2026 match. Follow all the exclusive World Cup action on iHeartRadio.
Full time.
Thank you very much indeed, Rebecca. In that first half, 8 of the 10 German outfield players had a shot. The exceptions being Kimmich and Tah, two of the defenders. So there's more defending to do here for Curacao, but can they cause another sensation? They're going to make a change here. Antonisa, who usually plays out on the left wing, replacing Tonje Hansen. So that is a like-for-like switch. Plays his football in the lower divisions in Greece for Kapisia, Jeremy Antonisa. And there was a period of great embarrassment for Germany in that first half when they found themselves 1-1 against Curacao. And there are 39 German cities that are bigger than Curacao. Quite a few American ones as well.
I was going to say, maybe more American ones than that.
I think Curacao is the size of Springfield, Massachusetts. Don't think they qualified for the World Cup. Maybe the World Club Cup down the line somewhere.
I'm impressed that you know where Springfield, Massachusetts is.
Well, somebody wrote it down for me.
All right.
We looked it up. Tah to lay it forward to Germany. The pressure's off them a little bit again now.
It is, Ian, but they're like you said, embarrassment is the right word. They were embarrassed to get scored. I mean, nobody expected Curacao to score a goal here against Germany, and I think they probably feel like they need to win 6-7, 8-1 to make this feel okay. 3-1 is simply not good enough for them. They will get hammered in the German press if they don't make this bigger scoreline.
Kimmich's ball. Oh, and it's beautiful from Musiala. It's a sensational strike from him. He made it look easy. It wasn't. The Germans starting to pull away.
And it's what I was just saying. I had a feeling they were going to come out and continue to push and push. We saw the opposite with Mexico the other day, taking their foot off the pedal. Not this German team. Good diagonal run into the box. And getting this off his foot quickly doesn't allow Eloy room to set. It's a fantastic finish inside the far post. That man's happy. 4-1 to Germany.
A first ever World Cup goal for the very talented Jamal Musiala. And one to remember in crowning his comeback from a very bad injury. He's been back since January after that leg break.
And I was talking about the sort of the emotional aspect and dealing with the press and having to do that, but there's also the practical of goal differential could play a factor. You could see Ecuador and Germany both beating Ivory Coast and Curacao going into the last game, both on 6 points. If they're to draw that game, goal differential becomes the tiebreaker. So I expect that Germany will keep pushing here and make that goal differential really big.
Let's see if they are pretty pitiless about this. Not much room for sentiment in big-time sport. Because that's exactly what Curacao didn't want right at the start of the second half, having conceded very early in the first too.
And the flip side of that coin is for Curacao, can you keep it 4-1 or maybe make it 4-2 and keep your goal differential down in hopes of being maybe a third place team that goes through?
Just broke up that attack for a moment, but Musiala got it back again. Tah lays it forward. Mecha, nice football. Musiala thought about the shot. Juninho Bacuna got in a good challenge. It's picked up now by Kimmich. It was almost a collector's item. Kimmich losing the ball in possession. Probably happens about once every 3 years. He's very much the leader out there. Nagelsmann said he would cut the grass and drive the team bus if you asked him.
Probably be good at that too.
Oh, he's played quickly. Oh, and the Room had to make a save, and he's very annoyed with his defenders who'd switched off for a moment there.
This shocked him, and what a save. Just getting his hands up. That ball was on him very quickly.
And Metro again involved. Wirtz, Brown turns very well. Floranus gets it away, not far. It keeps on coming back. They can't get out, Curaçao.
Well, you see how high Jonathan Tah is. He's just playing a couple yards off wherever Curaçao's top player is, and it allows them to keep the pressure on and not allow the field to flip.
Nice turn again from Enmecha. Pavlovic, and now Havertz trying to work it onto his left foot. Musiala's back heel. Zane quickly onto it. He is a speed merchant still, Zane. This scoreline is exactly mirroring the scoreline by which Curaçao lost to Scotland in one of their recent prep games. They took the lead in that game with Chong. That's Musiala's wonderfully taken goal from what looked pretty much an impossible angle. It wasn't impossible for him. That's Locadia with the layoff. Now Fonville. Obispo loose. Can they find the occasional attacking threat? And Chong was being definitely held by Brown. He gets away with it, no yellow card. Just a reminder, if you're new to watching this game, 12 groups of 4, top 2 in each group go through to a round of 32, along with the 8 best third place teams. Chong into Juninho. Bacuna has been really busy. I think he's covered almost every blade of grass out there. Inside by Leandro Bacuna. Incoming Ensea. Didn't really want it there, I don't think. In the end, they have to concede a throw. And the throws have to be taken quickly at this World Cup. If you dawdle over it, the throw can be given to the other side. Wirtz. Another great block. So Leandro Bacuna it was.
Yeah, and what happens over time, there's not only the physical toll that is taken by defending for this long, but the mental toll to stay tuned in. And you're seeing Germany now. Clever little quick free kicks, quick crosses, quick plays into the box, and Curaçao starting to fall asleep a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about the concentration in the first half. And look at that, Neuer has to play the sweeper keeper on the halfway line. When have you ever seen that?
Well, a lot from him.
Havertz trying another shot with his left foot. You've got to be careful this doesn't become like a shooting gallery at the moment. It's resembling one. That was Pavlovic this time.
Well, again, everything's happening quickly now. Germany playing at a speed that Curacao are not comfortable with. Every time there's a ball out of play, dead ball, they're putting it back in play quickly, and it's causing a ton of problems.
Nothing's going to spoil the party for those Curacao fans. Scan the QR code on the screen to vote for the Michelob Ultra Superior Player of the Match as this game progresses.
Probably in Metro right now, right? He's been very good. Musiala good.
He's leading the Landon Donovan poll, is he?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. Do you get a vote on this?
I could scan it, yeah.
I'm sure you can, actually. You're sitting here with me. Now then, here come Curacao again, and they're trying to get a foothold. Musiala, but the more ambitious they get, the more they chase it, the more gaps they're going to leave behind. That's the problem. But what a brave, bold performance this is from Curacao on their World Cup debut. They only just qualified in the last match, 0-0 away to Jamaica. Jamaica had a last-minute penalty given. VAR overturned it. Some things are written in the stars, you know. That's well defended. Good lead interception from Judinho Bacuna. But there'll be some tired legs and minds for Curacao now. Sane. Could be a long second half, this. With a tiny island nation 40 miles off the coast of Venezuela. A lot of their fans were at the Space Center yesterday, telling us one or two they'd never seen a freeway before.
Really?
Yeah. Just a break in the play as Musiala goes down. He's the player they definitely need. Him and Wirtz will be the creators in chief if Germany are to make a deep run at this World Cup. It's just a question of whether they've just got that something extra. There's no Toni Kroos these days, or Ilkay Gundogan, or Thomas Müller. You want to go back, and Klinsmann and Klose. So many great German players, Franz Beckenbauer, Gerd Müller, the list is endless. And they've achieved so much in World Cup history that they are looking to put a coat of paint on their reputation at this World Cup. Kimmich, a little attempted through ball for Sane. Curacao just looking a little more heavy-legged now. Don't you think, Landon?
Yeah, it's hard work. I mean, they've been chasing for almost 60 minutes now, and Germany have been pretty relentless in their pressure.
Cominense did some more good work and found Locadia, and they're getting quite a few blue shirts forward here. Here's Chong. Possession rather squandered. Coming up on Fox, it's more World Cup action. The Netherlands taking on Japan. That is a really tasty game. That match following our game here on Fox. Two countries I'd describe as pretty dangerous outsiders. Netherlands and Japan. Netherlands 3 times runners-up at the World Cup. Arguably the greatest team never to win it. That one with Johan Cruyff in 74 when Germany were champions. The game being played almost exclusively now in Curaçao's half. Oh, it's a clever ball towards Brown, but Room was switched on and alert. The Moroccan referee does give the free kick. And Julian Nagelsmann having quite a row down there with the fourth official.
He's been quite emotional in this game. I thought he would be a little more calm, but it is his first World Cup game, and he's excited just like the players are.
Yeah, only 38. Progressive coach, as he's proved at a very young age with Hoffenheim, Leipzig, Bayern. Now he's got to do it with the national team. Free kick taken by the skipper, Leandro Bacuna. Back to Coman Enseo, who's had a great game, apart from his goal, I think, here for Curaçao. Worked so very, very hard. Locadia again. He thought he was fouled, and the referee agrees.
Locadia does really well here. Uses his body, gets low to the ground, and spins Tah. Tah has no choice but to foul him. It's a party here in Houston, Ian. Fans loving it.
Copy that. Now then, is this another moment for Curaçao, who've already shocked every observer of world football with a goal against Germany? They're not going to score another one, are they?
I'm not betting against them.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 waiting, trying to get on the end of this. Oh, and Leandro Bacuna was that close.
Antonis, the good service here just over the head of Kimmich. Bacuna gets his head on it. Can't get up over it enough to get it down.
What's
decent chance,
there,
yeah. Decent chance there.
Decent chance. Tah picks it up again. Oh, it's a great run in behind. And Zane, with a wonderful opportunity, blazes it wide.
Well, they can't believe it. I can't believe it, Ian. I was waiting for the net to bulge here. Fantastic little clipped ball by Tah, and the first touch is excellent. Exactly where you want it. You expect Leroy Sané to score from there. He certainly does.
So gifted, but quite an enigma. And these days in Turkey for Galatasaray. 77th cap for Leroy Sané on the right-hand side. Julian Nagelsmann will have to lean on his wing wizardry at times with no Lennart Kyle. So on comes a man who's quite a story, Dennis Undav. 4 years ago playing in the Belgian second division. Now he's banging in the goals. 6 in 9 caps. at the start of his career. Musiala just given a little rest, and Undav with a chance to state his case in the World Cup. It did seem as if Nagelsmann was not much of a fan, with one or two controversial quotes about Undav, for which he later apologised. And he's giving them the chance now. Margarita is going to come on a forward. Joel Margarita, who plays for Beveren in Belgium. And don't forget the little white dotted lines you see under the names Germany and Curacao right at the top of the screen there, denoting how many substitutes each team has left. Slightly brighter spell here. Antonisa. And now Chong. There's Chong again. He can be a live wire. It hasn't quite worked for him today. And pushing more men forward here. Floralis lays it inside. Leandro Bacuna. Tar had to watch that. It was a difficult bounce. He coped well with it. The Bayern Munich man. Free kick as Leandro Bacuna goes down.
Undav doesn't see him here. He just goes to flick the ball. Little contact with Bacuna. And another good opportunity here for Curacao to put something in front of the goal and create a chance.
It's just before the hydration break, which will be a feature of every game, regardless of the fact that the roof is on here, so there's no boiling heat for the players to deal with. Well dealt with again, and this will surely be offside. It's not going to count, I'm sure of that. Miles offside. The Curacao fans haven't quite realised that. But that was the easiest offside decision anybody's going to take.
Just offside there.
Stays 4-1. The Blue Wave supporters behind that goal enjoyed it nonetheless. Good recovery speed from Floralis. Room here. Zane. Good covering from Fonville. Did really well. I think that's what you call putting out the fire before it starts. Undav and Havertz. Undav will love to come up with a World Cup goal. Wirtz again. It's all a bit tight in there, but there's the goal that they're looking for. And it's Nathaniel Brown. What a moment for him. Forced his way in the team, and now he's on the score sheet.
Well, as it came in, I was curious maybe if he's offside. That was the only question, and we'll get another look at it. Close, but what a fantastic finish. With his right foot, you can see him strike through the laces, down into the ground. Impossible for Eloy Room to get down that quickly. Really good finish. And 5-1 to the Germans.
First international goal scoring at the World Cup, and I think he's at the start of what might be a stellar career. It's the hydration break now. You can see the offside flag there, and it's sponsored by Lenovo. The match break sponsored by Lenovo.
This whole surviving life.
Did you know not all batteries are the same? For example, only Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And Duracell are the only batteries that make this sound every time you say Power Boost ingredients. See? Duracell batteries with Power Boost ingredients. You try. Duracell batteries with Power Boost ingredients. Told you. Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And they're built right here in the USA with US and global parts.
Upgrade your FIFA World Cup 2026 viewing experience. Build it like Beckham from the living room to the lawn with the Home Depot. Create a box seating experience with flowers for pops of color surrounding your pitch, the smell of grilled favorites, and a freshly painted fence sporting your team's colors. Fast free delivery is your home field advantage with charcoal, string lights, or whatever the game calls for right to your door. A clean assist. Build it like Beckham for match day. The Home Depot, official FIFA World Cup 2026 supporter. Subject to availability.
FIFA World Cup takes the global stage from June 11th through July 19th on Fox 1, the official English streaming platform of FIFA World Cup 2026. Stream all 104 matches live and get closer to the action with a personalized viewing experience built around you. Choose up to 4 streams with multi-view, catch highlights before jumping into the action, get live stats in real time, and replay key plays instantly. Experience the FIFA World Cup live on Fox 1. Watch 3 days free. For details, visit Fox.com. Offers are subject to change. See Fox 1 for complete terms and conditions.
It's quite a sight, isn't it? The home, of course, of the Houston Texans. And with 67,000 fans packed in today, 6,000 of them from Curacao itself. Leon Goretzka there is one of those about to be introduced. Antonio Rudiger as well, long-time stalwart for Germany. And David Raum, the left back who's been displaced in the team by the man who's just scored, Nathaniel Brown. Rudiger replacing Tar in central defence, and this is simply a question really of fresh legs, looking after players with other games coming up, of course, in the group.
Did Nagelsmann not tell them during the break that they were coming off? Why did they all go out onto the field then run all the way back over? Don't understand that. Maybe he just decided. I digress, Ian.
I think it's FIFA protocol.
Well, they didn't have to go all the way to their positions over there.
You can have that argument with them.
Okay.
Because there is this rule this time that substitutes have to get off the field within 10 seconds of the board going up.
Right, even more reason not to go all the way to the other side of the field.
If not, the guys coming on have to wait a whole minute. That could be important. There could be something contentious with that, I think, as the competition goes on. Nathan by Antonisa. Difficult one for Floranus. Raum making his presence felt straight away down that left-hand side, and now Wirtz. Yeah, that's a foul by Pavlovic. Fancy Germany for a long run, Landon?
You know, I was just thinking about that. It's hard to tell, obviously, from today, right? Curacao are not at the level of the top teams in this tournament. They look pretty good. I think Musial and Wirtz have something different, and teams that generally go a long way in these tournaments have some special players, and they've been good. Sane, if he gets going a little bit, and Kai Havertz obviously dangerous in front of goal. I think the questions will be, can they defend at a high level? Conceding to this team is not a good start to the World Cup for them. And I think teams with good attacking players will feel confident. But are they a favorite? No, I don't think so. But could they make a deep run in the tournament? Probably, yeah.
Just one of the intriguing questions. Later tonight on Fox Sports 1, a double-header. Ivory Coast against Ecuador, followed by Sweden facing Tunisia. Is Chong. He's done well, and there was nobody really in that central area. He had a right to expect there would have been. It was a good enough ball, wasn't it, Landon?
Yeah, he did really well on this right side, and Margarita, for whatever reason, stopped making the run at the far post. I always tell players, if you want to score, you got to get in front of the goal, and you got to take chances, and Margarita just stopped there.
You have that from a lot of strikers. Take a gamble. He didn't. Again, Common and Sear. This time Chong's waiting in the middle. Oh! Sensational piece of play, it really was. From Marguerite.
Steps inside on his right foot, and when he came off his footy, and I thought that was going to hit the net, just over the outstretched hands of Neuer. Unfortunately for Germany, over the crossbar.
And for all Germany's goals, Curacao have scored one and had two other pretty big chances. The one that Leandro Bacuna put over the bar, and then that effort which whistled not very far away from Marguerite.
That's what I was just saying. That is going to be their Achilles heel throughout this tournament. When they play good teams, they're going to concede a lot of chances.
Undav's ball in, drops for Havertz. And there could be something here. No, there won't be, because Rome is going to take charge of it. Rome has been 11 years in the Curacao team. Is Goretzka. Again. It's almost football in a phone booth at times in there from Germany. Looking to work intricate little openings, and Havertz has done well there. And they could here with Kimmich, lays it across goal. And Undav is in there. And Germany, well, they keep on hitting the back of the net. And Dennis Undav scores at the World Cup. His fairy tale goes on. Seven in 10 caps for Dennis Undav now.
Starts with clever work down the left side. Little slip ball down the line. As it came across, I was thinking, first time here, Kimmich will hit it. Second time there, he'll hit it. But he's seen this all before. Rolls it across. Wants to get his striker on the board here. And Undav, not cleanest contact. But you put it on net and good things happen. 6-1 now to Germany.
And 6 different scorers. Pavlovic. He's Chong. A little bit of a problem for Leandro Bacuna, who's had to sit pretty deep most of the time. Curacao have worked so hard to try to contain Germany, but it's very, very difficult given the gulf. There could be another one here. Ozawa doing the defending. Here's Marguerite. Curacao still believing they might be able to come out with a second goal to delight their legion of supporters behind that goal they're attacking. I think there's no question whatever, Curacao will leave this stadium with heads held high. Still got to play the other two teams in the group as well. A few days off. Ecuador and Ivory Coast. Those two teams waiting to play each other. This game's on Fox Sports 1 for you. It's going to be a feast of football for the next, well, month plus. Of course, a lot of the teams will be going home early. Which two will stay the duration? Rudiger, part of the eventful season at Real Madrid. There are other adjectives I could have used. Chong again. Good work off the ball by Germany. Keep working hard. There's Havertz. It's one of those situations, I think, where everyone fancies they might be able to nick a World Cup goal here. Sane, who hasn't got one so far today. Been involved a lot, mine. Inside the last 9 minutes. Germany, of course, on their way to a 3-point start, as almost inevitably it was going to be. Although we did wonder for a few minutes when Curacao equalised in the first half. Nobody that deep. Not even Schlotterbeck. Don't forget, James Corden and the After Hours crew will be on Fox tonight for another nightly wrap of everything going on in the World Cup. That's on Fox at midnight local. Curacao are going to bring on another striker, Jovan Castania, who led the way with 5 World Cup qualifying goals. And for Germany, a chance for Waldemar Anton, Borussia Dortmund, central defender. He was originally Mats Hummels' replacement at Dortmund when they snapped him up from Stuttgart. Sometimes nicknamed the defensive tower. The referee pulls back the play here. Germany, of course, also have to play those other two teams in the group. The 3 points today won't settle the issue, not at all. Ivory Coast, pretty talented, actually, looking at their squad. They could be dangerous. Ecuador, who amazingly let in only 5 goals in 18 qualifying matches in South America. That might be the best defensive record in the world.
I'm really intrigued by that match tonight.
Yeah.
The beauty of the World Cup being is all these contrasting styles that never play against each other except in these tournaments.
Marguerite on this left-hand side now, again. So another little test here for the German defence. That's the goal by Undav, one which he can put on his show reel. Pavlovic starts the latest German attack wave. Havertz missed a lot of the season in England with injury, but was back for the business end of it all. Arsenal winning the Premier League title and getting to the Champions League final. I think some people in North London of a red and white persuasion are still celebrating all that. Return ball played in Raum here. He wants one too. The legs of goalkeeper Rum do the job.
And he did really well because that was a tricky one. It got deflected on the way in and he reacted well and fortunately fell right to him.
His team have conceded 6 goals, but you'd have to say he's had a pretty good game back there, the Miami FC goalkeeper. 37 years of age now too. What a thrill, what an experience for these Curacao players. I'd say their man of the match is the guy who scored, Coman Ensaya. Still full of energy as well this late in the game. Floranus had made the run forward again. Germany having to do some defending with Schlotterbeck. Great scenes behind that goal. Blue is the colour, all right. Here's Rudiger, not first choice anymore. Looks to drop in one behind, but nothing doing this time. Castania now for Curacao, one of the substitutes brought on by Dick Advocat. He will be 79 in September. Still looks well, still loves the game. Title winner, PSV Eindhoven in the Netherlands. Treble with Rangers in Scotland. Title winner in Russia with Zenit St. Petersburg, where he is an honorary citizen of that very, very fine town of St. Petersburg. Undav's ball, Havertz is in here. Oh, and that's cute. That's very cute. And it's 7. Goal scorer's goal, that.
Comes from a turnover in midfield. And Havertz, you can see the deflection there from Goretzka. Played through. Havertz turns on the speed, and then just the experience, the technique, lays Eli Room down. clips it over him. Number 7 with the 7th goal for Germany.
Cute finish, isn't it? The comments of Landon Donovan, who on this day 24 years ago scored for the USA against Poland. Remember that, Landon?
Is that long ago?
In the World Cup, yeah. USA were already through despite the defeat. And then the Mexico game.
That one I remember.
USA getting to the quarterfinals 2002. Could the team this year match that kind of run, or maybe even better it? Goretzka helps it on here to Raum. He's been able to play almost like an outside left since he's come on. Broken up again by Schlotterbeck.
You know, there's been a lot of talk about the expansion of the World Cup to 48 teams, Ian. And a lot of people were against it. My podcast colleague, Tim Howard, not for it. But I actually love it. When you sit in this stadium and you see the 6,000 Curacao fans and what it means to them, you saw them celebrate the goal. So the short term is the joy that that brings. But long term, a country like Curacao, who now receive all the money that comes from this, the recognition, you could see them over time get better and better and become a team that is a perennial World Cup team. And I think that's really valuable. So I love it. I love seeing what's happened here today. And hopefully this helps jumpstart that nation into becoming a more prominent World Cup nation.
Here's another thing that's happened today. A really strange one. This is a World Cup game with no cards. No yellow cards. Juninho Bacuna. We're going to help it through to Margarita, who's looked quite lively since he came on. I wonder whether he might get a start next time. They really have tried their heart out and put on quite a show here, Curacao, but the gap is just too big in terms of class and resources. 72 places in the world rankings.
Sure, and the other piece, Ian, is that with 8 third-place teams going through, you never know, right? Their goal differential is going to be a challenge now. But if they get a couple results, sneak a win and get a tie against Ivory Coast and Ecuador, they could find themselves through.
Well, they've had their moments here, but they found Germany just a bit too hot to handle in the second half. Predictably enough. Cleared it not very far, only as far as Floranus. They want a second goal here. They want to score in front of those fans behind that goal. That's definitely part of their late motivation here now. It's going to be a winning start for Julian Nagelsmann. It's fair to say he's yet to win over the German football public completely. I thought Germany played pretty well at the last European Championship. They just had the misfortune of bumping into eventual champion Spain in the quarter-final. Juninho Bacuna again looking to dance his way through the defence late on. Bad challenge from him on Undav, which went unpunished. Goretzka picks it up again. Here's Leon Goretzka driving through the centre of the midfield. Looking to state his case to Julian Nagelsmann. Not in possession of one of the shirts at the moment, and the way Mecha played today, I don't think we'll be regaining it at the moment, but Pavlovic wants one here. Goretzka couldn't quite control it. 5 minutes of added time, and there's not too much more of this. A late collision. Ex-referee Jalal Jayed from Morocco has not once had to reach for a yellow card.
I mean, it's been a pretty easy game to officiate, to be honest.
It's almost unheard of, isn't it, these days? I mean, there are so many ways you can pick up a yellow card in a competitive game, too.
Well, there's still a minute left.
Yeah.
See?
It's got time. Now for their late party piece, Germany are going to try and score a free kick from, 25 yards. It looks like there are several interested parties.
There's so much negotiating going on here. I think I can do this, but I think I can do this, and I want to do this, and we'll see who wins out here.
Zane Ram chips it instead. Goretzka couldn't control it. And that will be harmless enough, and that might be just about everything we want to see. The referee's going to blow for time. Germany have the points. For 17 minutes, though, it was 1-1. Curacao making history. Levano Comenensea with their goal. But Germany restored order. And here in Houston, they have liftoff. They win by 3-1.
Did you know not all batteries are the same? For example, only Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And Duracell are the only batteries that make this sound every time you say Power Boost ingredients. See? Duracell batteries with Power Boost ingredients. You try. Duracell ingredients. Told you. Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And they're built right here in the USA with US and global parts. Did you know not all batteries are the same? For example, only Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And Duracell are the only batteries that make this sound every time you say Power Boost ingredients. See? Duracell batteries with Power Boost ingredients. You try. Duracell ingredients. Told you. Duracell batteries are built different with Power Boost ingredients. And they're built right here in the USA with US and global parts.
Upgrade your FIFA World Cup 2026 viewing experience. Build it like Beckham from the living room to the lawn with the Home Depot. Create a box seating experience with flowers for pops of color surrounding your pitch, the smell of grilled favorites, and a freshly painted fence sporting your team's colors. Fast free delivery is your home field advantage with charcoal, string lights, or whatever the game calls for right to your door. A clean assist. Build it like Beckham for match day. The Home Depot, official FIFA World Cup 2026 supporter. Subject to availability.
Time now as we look back at today's match with our post-match show as we continue our coverage of the FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio.
In what was a battle of David versus Goliath, the second half saw Goliath really take over, and the final score being Germany 7, Curacao 1. You're listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio. We welcome you to the postgame show for Germany Curacao, and it did end up being the blowout we thought it could be. The Germans, who have not gotten out of the group stage in the previous two World Cups, do take this opening match of FIFA World Cup 2026 7-1 over Curacao, making their World Cup debut. We welcome you in, Jackson Feltz, alongside the former United States men's national teamer Brad Evans and the All-American and national champion at North Carolina, Danny Jackson. Brad, it was tight for a while, but we did see Germany eventually take over.
You knew that they would. You just look at top to bottom, the German lineup, their history in World Cups. Everyone is playing at the top teams in Europe. You knew that the class was going to show through eventually. It took a little bit of time for them to get into a rhythm. Both teams are playing at such a high intensity to start these games. It's really hard to predict what you're going to face in the first 10, 15 minutes. But everyone settled in, a couple adjustments at halftime, and Germany really did come through and show their class. It was a walk through the park for them in that second half. I'm not sure any of the substitutes that came on had a sweat, but at the end of the day, Germany did what they had to do to set themselves up in a game that could have been a trap game. And it was, for the first 22 minutes trying to figure things out. So for Germany, a big step forward for them to get that game off their back and ultimately look forward.
Yeah, it was getting the result out of this game. It was a banana skin that could have happened in the first quarter of that game. And the hydration break definitely helped Germany to reset after Curacao scored right before that. But for such a small nation, the smallest nation to ever compete in the World Cup, they had their moment in the spotlight, and they played really well. They could have withered under the pressure, especially with Germany scoring so early, but they didn't. They picked themselves up. They found some space. They got a really good goal and went into that first hydration break with a pep in their step. And then to your point, Brad, Germany does have the quality top to bottom. Undav came off the bench, the big stocky striker, goal and a couple of assists coming off the bench. And I think we talked about it at halftime. Germany in that second half needed just to kind of eliminate the noise from the media and from the home fans, because it could have turned into something a little bit messy, especially going out in that group stage in 2018 and 2022. They needed to be strong in that second half, and they did their job professionally.
Well, our game recap is brought to you by the Home Depot. Upgrade your FIFA World Cup 2026 setup. Build it like Beckham from living room to lawn with the Home Depot. And take the fast free delivery assist. The Home Depot, official FIFA World Cup 2026 supporter, subject to availability. Danny mentioned the early goal. It came in the 6th minute. That's where it started for Germany. And then for the first 20 minutes of the game, Germany had 10 shots, only scoring one of those 20. For the rest of the game, they had just 16 shots. They scored 6 goals in those 16 shots. Curacao with the goal in the 21st minute. They held a 1-1 game for 17 minutes, and then Germany scored in the 38th minute, in the 45th +3, 47th with Musiala, 68th with Nathaniel Brown, 78th with Undav, and then 88th with Havertz, and that gave them the 7-1 win. We'll continue breaking down this game. Germany winning over Curacao 7-1. You're listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio.
iHeart is America's #1 podcast network. Open the free iHeart app and explore podcasts like this.
When 60 Minutes premiered in September 1968, there was nothing like it.
We realize, of course, that new approaches are not always instantly accepted.
I'm Seth Doan of CBS News, and I'm excited to introduce a new podcast from 60 Minutes called A Second Look. The team at 60 Minutes has spent the last year digging through thousands of tapes, transcripts, and reels of film. And you're about to hear some of the sound that was never broadcast, like 21-year-old Taylor Swift imagining her future success.
Sometimes I get really overwhelmed when I think about, 10 years from now I'll be 30. What's the sound then? What are the choices I've made at that point? Oh my God, what does my life look like?
Then there are the people you may not recognize by name, but who witnessed some of the most important events in modern history. Along the way, I'll speak with some of the legendary correspondents who reported the stories, as well as those whose lives were altered after sitting down with 60. Together, we'll hear how much our world has changed.
You're working in borrowed time. You're not just saying that to scare us.
And how it hasn't.
You were either for the books or against the books. And it was almost like a civil war.
You can really draw a bright red line from 74 to 2024.
It's time for A Second Look.
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and listen now.
Listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio. Jackson Phelps alongside the former United States men's national teamer Brad Evans and the All-American and national champion at North Carolina, Danny Jackson. Germany with a 7-1 win today over Curacao. It was a battle of David versus Goliath, and Goliath ended up really stretching out their legs in the second half with 4 goals to make this thing 7-1. But I think, gentlemen, one of the storylines that we really need to talk about is the fact that for nearly 40 minutes of this game, Brad, this was a 1-1 game, and Curacao was very much in it for a long time.
Yeah, look, they held their own tonight, so hats off to Curacao. I just think when you look at the rosters, right, and you can bring on Undav, you can bring on Rudiger, who's at Real Madrid, you would assume would be a starter. Things just kind of got out of hand at that point. But for Curacao, that will go down in their history. No one will ever forget that moment that ball hit the back of the net. Yes, it's 7-1, but I think those fans will leave that stadium being proud at the end of the day. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them, potentially, but you hope that it puts a spotlight on the quality of player that they do have to take that next step forward. When you qualify for a tournament, you get money from FIFA that goes back into your development. So this is more than just about this game. It's about generating and creating the next talented player to come out of Curacao. And for them, what I was most proud of, I played enough CONCACAF games and qualifiers. When you're up 5-1, 6-1, it becomes a bloodbath at some point, whether it's Mexico, an island nation, or even Canada. This one stayed within the lines, and I really appreciate that watching this game from Curacao. They held their own, but they also respected the game at the end of the day to not let this one get out of hand and commit fouls. Yes, you're tired, but can you stay mentally strong to try and push for that second goal, which they did. So hats off to them.
Yeah, we saw some games over the last couple of days, Paraguay being one of them, where it got choppy and chippy towards that second half when they were kind of behind. Maybe they saw that they weren't coming back and the tackles kind of started flying in. There was a number of times, as you said, Brad, where the Curacao players would play with real good sportsmanship. They were down, they had a smile on their face. Chong came off, clapping the crowd, just appreciating the moment that they were playing up against what was now the all-time top scorers at the World Cup with those 7 goals. They surpassed Brazil, who were at the lead with 238 before this particular game. So they're playing against a legendary team and country with a heritage of 4 World Cups. And they stood toe-to-toe with them for a good chunk of that game. And I think Germany will look back on that game and think, hey, we had to be resilient. It wasn't just Curacao had to be resilient. Germany had